went through all those trees and the signal dropped, and you know how that goes. So starting over again. If you can like it, you can share it. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. I may end up changing this title, but I want to bring something to your attention. Now, those that have been paying attention to some of the things that I have been saying, I've told you that Afghanistan was a distraction. Deliberately, intentionally, cold set heart. I'm going to, if this drops again, I'm going to shut it down and start when I get on the clear highway and out of these trees. At any rate, Afghanistan is a distraction. What's happening over here is what they don't want you paying attention to. And there are a couple of big fights taking place, one over the lives of children. And I got a feeling that, forgive me for digressing, but I think I may end up dropping again, and then I will just come back in about maybe 10 or 15 minutes if I drop. So let me try and get through it again. So 2 battles are happening over here. You got a distraction going on over in Afghanistan because they don't want you paying attention to what's going on here. Now, I made a post on my Facebook page, and this is what started this new ball to rolling, that basically said Joe Biden was doing a good job. He was a professional. I offered no explanation whatsoever. And the reaction was unbelievable. Don't worry, I'm going to connect the dots here in just a second. The reaction was unbelievable. Over 3 million views in one day. And I did not do it for views. I was simply showing people this is actually what Democrats believe, that Joe Biden is doing a great job and that he is a professional. So we all remember everybody saying in the past how hateful liberal Democrats were. Now, if you've been around and you pay attention to politics, everybody on the right was saying Democrats are hateful, they're evil, they're mean. Well, some of the things that people said, listen, my phone rang for 2 days. People calling me and emailing me nasty messages, calling me names, the whole 9 yards. And I said, you see a picture and you lose your damn mind because I think Joe Biden is doing a good job. If you took just 1 minute, you could even use Google and Google my name, you won't see any pro-liberal, pro-Joe posts since I have been on social media for the last since 2008. All right? No support for liberal Democrats whatsoever. But they cursed me and they were hateful. Now, am I complaining about that? No, because it was a lesson. And what I would say to something, now a few I did tell to just piss off when they emailed me and called me. But I did tell them, if you are really a conservative and a Christian, you'll Google me. And when you find out the truth, you will come back and apologize. Well, I posted on Facebook that one apology that I received from a guy, and I thought that was very honorable of him to do that. That saying, and that is saying very few are willing to do that. And at the end of the day, the point I'm making is the lack of research done by conservatives. I won't even call them conservatives. They're in the Republican Party. The lack of research done by them is why we have RINOs in office. Why is it so important to understand the problem with RINOs? Because RINOs, Donald Trump is the perfect example. How many Republicans backstabbed Donald Trump after he endorsed them when they needed his help? They were all in it for Donald Trump when they wanted to get reelected because everybody loved what Donald Trump was doing. You should remember that. Well, if you voted for those RINOs, Mitt Romney, McConnell, well, David Perdue was already in office when Trump got in. Kelly Loeffler, but they did vote for David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler again, trying to keep them in office under the illusion that we don't want to lose the majority of the Senate. If you have been paying attention, when we've had the majorities, what has changed? Not a damn thing. Nothing. Abortion was still around. It is because of Trump that another battle that I'm going to talk about in a minute, happening over in Texas, that is because of Trump putting those conservative justices in office. And I saw a post from this Democrat that basically said of Ginsburg, there, we are in this place because you refuse to retire, so Obama could have replaced you with a liberal judge, and then called her a bitch. You white dead bitch. That's what this person said. That's eating your own. Essentially what happened with me. Now, this particular person did some research in the case of Ginsburg. She would not resign, and Obama would have replaced or put another liberal judge on the bench. Absolutely. She knew what the hell she was talking about. But these idiots cursing me because I post a meme without explaining, and I knew that somebody was going to make it my cross to bear, saying, well, even if that wasn't you, you should have explained. It is not my cross to bear for your stupid, I'm going to stop short right there, not doing research on your own. If you did some research on your own, and I'm going to say, everybody focused on ballot machines. Screw the ballot machine. Yeah, there's a problem with them. It's crooked. Both parties have been using a crooked voting system for decades. They know who they want in office. The money go. Anyway, I'm not going to get back into the circle of loot again. I'm digressing because I'm trying to bring you to where we are right now, happening right now, while you're over there still looking in Afghanistan, pissed off with Joe Biden, thinking that he is incompetent and don't know what he's doing. Absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. So these RINOs are in office. They aided the Democrats here in all four swing states, Georgia, Texas, I forget what I think Michigan, wherever Maricopa County is. They allowed mail-in, unvetted, and unverified ballots. That is how they got Donald Trump out of office. When the mess with the virus started, I started tweeting March of 2020. This is all about one man, our economy, one election. I started saying that in March of 2020. I was posting that almost every other day or at the bottom of many posts that I made trying to get people to see. But it doesn't matter how hard you try to get many to see, they won't let go and they won't research. It is the damnedest thing that I have ever seen. One prominent passage in the Bible, my people perish for lack of knowledge, but they leave off the second part because they have rejected my truths. Well, what does that mean? You refuse to research, therefore you reject. You have rejected knowing the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have rejected knowing the truth. You don't want to know the truth. You don't want to know that Doug Collins is a bum. You don't want to know that Mitt Romney is a bum. You don't want to know that McConnell is a traitorous rhino. You don't want to know that Lindsey Graham is a do-nothing politician. You don't want to accept the fact that these people you think that are fighting for you ain't doing a damn thing for you. Nothing. So even when we have had majorities, under Bush we had the House and the Senate. Did abortion get overturned anywhere in any state? Hell no. Did the border get secured? Hell no. Did they deal with illegal immigration? Hell no. People make money off of these things. I know I'm getting caught up in a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm trying to get you to see the picture. So I started also sounding the bell that mandates were coming. See, understand something. This is all about the control. You understand? Revelations 13:17, great or small, cannot buy or sell unless they have the mark. Now, when I speak, I am speaking in a figurative sense. I believe this is that forerunner. If they can successfully control you, where you go, where you travel to, where you dine, where you go for entertainment, if they can control what you do with your body to do those things, they have won. Those of you that have followed me from going back to 2008, you may remember me saying the experiment worked on the Negro. Destruction of the black family. Let's make government the new daddy. All right? Let's kick the man out of the house. Man in the house rule. Lyndon Baines Johnson. Let's have these little children looking up to the mama, no daddy around. And what do you end up with? A bunch of kids that are out there just hellions. And that's the ones that Joe Biden was talking about. Well, I don't care, if the government, is responsible, or they didn't have this type of upbringing or that type of upbringing. We need to lock their butts up. And I'll tell you something, with my crime bill, it'll be worse than if they were jaywalking. I mean, this dude was bragging about it, called them predators. Hillary Clinton called them predators, our children. And government made that. Martin Luther King, tell you this story before I get back on point. Martin Luther King was attacked by a Klansman, a teenage boy. And when they found him, the police went to King and said, look, would you like to press charges? Martin Luther King said, I'm not interested in pressing charges against him. I'm more interested in what kind of system made him. What kind of system has made I'm not going to call them conservatives, has made Republicans not think that they owe it to themselves and their children to know who the hell they are voting for? How can you not see this? Nothing for the better in this country has happened in 50 years until Donald Trump got in office. He started securing the border. He started dealing with China. He was dealing with trade. He was dealing with all manner of issues that were destroying this country, and both parties wanted him gone. Both of them. Kelly Loeffler, they voted for, we got to get Kelly back in there. What did Kelly Loeffler do? As soon as the January 6th thing took place, or there was no riots, I was up there. As soon as she got up and said, I'm backing off, Donald Trump inciting or insurrection. Oh, yeah. I can't support this move. That was her out. That's why they moved. Can't you see this? Anyway, I put this post of Joe Biden, all these people start cursing me. I'm getting back on track. Never have I ever received 3 million, reached 3 million people in a post. Never, ever. Almost 200,000 reactions and thousands of comments. Never, ever. Because conservatives found something they could hate, they wouldn't research, and they judged me unrighteously. I believe in judging. Because Jesus said, when you judge a righteous judgment and not according to appearance. So even though that meme appeared on my wall, that is an appearance. It may appear that I support Joe Biden, but anybody that knows me know that that is the furthest thing from the truth. But these morons would, and I'm calling them morons, they wouldn't go and research. And one guy said, well, but, you know, nobody will ever take you serious. You misunderstand. I'm not looking to be taken serious by people who won't even take time to research for themselves. Why would I want you to take me serious? Because you wouldn't vote for me anyway. You're going to vote for the name that you remember, the name that you heard the most on radio, TV, or wherever else you may get it, or whomever the Republicans tell you to vote for. Well, we got to maintain a majority. Majorities don't mean crap. And I have explained that the parties are almost always divided equally. Almost always divided equally. You'll have a majority here or there, but everything that they want to get done to take from you, they do it, working together. Now, I can't make that no plainer. So now, this means I get more interaction and more interactions than ever. And look, I've been making videos again since 2008. Those that know me know that I have never been in it for the views. If a video get the views, it gets the views. And I said to those idiots attacking me, if I posted the voting record of every conservative in Washington, D.C. with a constitutional voting record under 80% and say these are the people we need to be purging, only 20 people would probably react. Because nobody wants to know that their guy, I used to call it my guy syndrome. Some of you may remember that. My guy syndrome. So, I get all of this reaction on this meme. Wow. What the hell? Completely unexpected. Then, I am being very careful because I have only been out of Facebook jail for about a week. I got out last Tuesday. Last Tuesday, I got out of a 30-day stint in Facebook jail. So I'm making sure I'm not doing anything. But now I am making these posts, and because of this one post, I got to understand something. 3 million people saw my name. Therefore, 3 million people trying to see who is this Negro running for office, or that ran for. Some of you see, show how little research. Yeah, well, I'm gonna make sure you aren't re-elected again. Man, I don't even hold office. I am. You are not my constituency. See, this is the level of laziness that I'm talking about. This is what brings about that destruction. At any rate, let me get to it. So all of a sudden, I'm this popular guy. Everybody is going to my page. So what happens next? I get up today, I'm out taking care of business, and I look at my phone. Damn, I'm in Facebook jail again. I got another 30 today. Why did I get that 30? Because 3 million people saw my name. And I have been posting things about the new war that's happening here in America. Now, I know you're wondering, why am I in Facebook jail this time? I posted a meme back in July. See, they reached back. Some of my brother was saying, he reached back. They reached back and got something from July where I posted a meme that said the following: Unvaxed, I am willing to hide you in my attic. That's right. That's exactly what I said. Unvaxed, I am willing to hide you in my attic. Now, how does that violate any community standards? It is, unless they are already assuming that it is illegal to be unvaxxed. Do you see that? I am in Facebook jail for saying I would hide the unvaxxed in my attic, and that is not a crime for what I just said. That is not a crime. I'm not telling anybody not to get vaccinated. I'm not telling anyone they should get vaccinated. Nothing like that. This is all about control of you. Now, right now, up in Rome, Georgia, about 100 miles from where I am, they are protesting mandates, mandated vaccines. Right now, no press is on the site. You know how I posted those images? Well, if you don't follow me on Facebook, you wouldn't know. But I posted the images coming out of France and Germany, where they are protesting the mandates. Look at what's going on in Southern Australia. They are arresting people. That is coming here. That is coming here. And you are distracted thinking that Joe Biden is incompetent, doesn't know what he's doing. They know exactly what they are doing. Keep you busy with something else. Keep you dumbed down. The cabal thinks that you are stupid as hell. Yes, they do believe that. Because Joe Biden can get up and tell a lie tomorrow to a Democrat, have it exposed by Republicans the next day, and then the next day Joe Biden can get up and say he didn't say it, and those Democrats will say, see, I told you they were lying, even though there's a video of him actually saying it. That's how bad it is. And it's the same way with conservatives. No, why do I keep calling them conservatives? It is the same way with the majority of Republicans. Why do you think we have so many RINOs in Washington, D.C.? Do you understand what I am trying to say to you? Before you know it, you will have nothing, because you will continue to support RINOs. You will continue to not research. And right now, anybody with a voice, trust me, that post has been out there since July. It was innocuous. It was obviously a joke. I don't even have, well, I do have an attic, but it's not a walk-in attic. It was innocuous at worst, all right? And who am I going to hide in my attic? I mean, it was just for a laugh. But because of what transpired, 3 million people hearing my name, 200,000 reactions, somebody might hear this Negro. They don't want that. They don't want you to know the truth, because somebody might wake up. And I have always said this. It has always been the few that turn the tide in history. Always. Whether for good or whether for evil. Someone steps up to lead, like Donald Trump, and others get behind him and they move it. I have a saying that was told to me by my parents. It only takes one spine to stiffen a whole room. You understand that? One person standing up, people stand. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Platoon. I'm digressing here for a minute. And you know, a lot of people criticize it about how, you know, they portrayed blacks, but that's not the point that I want to make. The point I want to make is when Charlie Sheen and the black guy, I think character's name was Corey or whatever, they were in the foxhole and he was scared to death, the black guy. And Charlie Sheen all of a sudden looked down, reached for something deep down inside of him, and he jumped out and went to fighting like a madman. And the other guy saw what he had done and did the same thing. But they killed it at the end after he had survived the firefight that night. The black guy grabbed his knife and stabbed himself in the arm. Stabbed himself in the leg. Some of you may remember that. But that's an example of one spine stiffening an entire foxhole, even though there were only 2 people in it. Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that little story out there. So with all of that being said, and how long have I gone in this video? 24 minutes. All right, I'm trying to cut off at 25. So with all of that being said, the cabal thinks that you're stupid. Okay, they really do, because you continue to keep the same people in office. And I hate to use a cliche, keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That is exactly what we have going on here. So because my voice got noticed, because I challenged people to go and research me first and see what it is I'm really talking about, rather than jumping to the conclusion that I support Joe Biden and think Joe Biden is doing a good job, I opened an eye, and that's a person that now knows that you're going to get truth from me. Now, do I say some things that might not be accurate? Of course I do. I'm fallible just like anybody else. But for the most part, I am on point on just about everything that I talk about. And I try to talk about only what I know about, okay? What I have researched for myself. When I was 23, I was dating this woman that was in her late 40s at the time. I don't know what it was. I had this thing for older women back then. And she told me, she said, Derrick, I want you to remember this. And she said, leaders are readers. But leaders don't focus on it being something that you are. Let it be something that you do. See, there's a difference. So, you know, I had this thing when I was running, when I would give speeches, I would tell people, I don't want to be your leader. I want to be your servant. And from a theological point of view, they're called servant leaders. That's why Jesus rebuked Peter when he wouldn't wash his feet. And I know that might be a little beyond what some people understand, but all these politicians walking around talking about, I'm going to be the leader that you can do this and you can do that and blah, 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 blah. Piss on that. I don't need a leader to go to D.C. for me. I need somebody that's going to go up there and represent me. A representative form of government is what we're supposed to have, not a bunch of assholes who think that because they got elected, they are smarter than you and they got to tell you how to think, what to do, what to wear, where to go, what to eat, etc., etc., etc. And then they want to indoctrinate your children so that it is easier for them to take over them. And I saw another post, and I'm going to shut up, where it was a collage of images from Game of Thrones, where the one of the main characters, John, said to his younger brother, tell them. And he says, you know, to the siblings, when they indoctrinate you in school, it is easier to take away your rights when you don't know that you have them. And that's essentially what it says. So we don't teach our kids crap in school. We've allowed the school boards to take over, to indoctrinate them into sexual deviance, this transgender sickness, all that other manner of nonsense. Boy, they don't even know what they're losing. But I know what they're losing. And I'm trying to stand in the gap for them. So I'm going to be silent for another 30 days. All right, because I'm in Facebook jail. I don't even think I'm going to try and find a raise around it. I may make a video here and now again, here, now and again, to keep you up to speed. But that's going to be about the gist of it. I'm not even going to do anything on Twitter. I think I'm going to take a break from the madness, because for the most part, only a very few of us really get it and understand. It's going to be us few. You take the video and share it. Make it easy for those with short attention spans. If I said something that you think resonates with you, point them to the time mark. Send them the link. That is how the few become the spine for the whole of America. It is the few that has always made the difference in this country. And the other battle that I didn't mention is what's going on in Texas, the abortion law that the Supreme Court has refused to strike down. That is major. That is major. And they are losing their damn minds, Democrats. They have even decided that they're going to do what they call a judicial review. The Senate, Durbin, a Democrat, is forming I think he's the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. They're going to review what they call the shadow docket. I think that's what they called it. and to make sure that the Supreme Court is following all of the procedures when they are doing the things that they have been doing. They didn't have no problem with them when they were shutting down and not hearing cases about voter fraud. Y'all keep that in the back of your mind. But now they've got a problem. There is nothing unconstitutional about requiring people to be responsible for what they do with their bodies. And I'm talking about the vast majority of them, because the people that are upset about this are those that are trying to protect the right for a woman to be willy-nilly with her body and use abortion as a means of birth control. And I think in my last video, I was going to make this point to where people don't understand. I started talking about countries in the past, or civilizations, Romans, Greeks, Hannibal, I forget the name of what his group was. They practice all manner of sexual deviancy. Okay, now look, if you like to tie up your girlfriend or man, you want to tie up, y'all have kinky sex, that's between you, and it's in your bedroom, two consenting adults, etc., etc. But all of this other stuff, men and men, women and women, and all the other things that go along with it. Now we've added to the mix transgenderism and whatnot. That's something for those adults too, but why are you trying to teach that crap to my children as being normal? See, that's where I had a problem. At any rate, the Romans, the Greeks, these folks engaged in all manner of sexual deviancy. Soldiers would have young boys out on the field that they would sleep. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all those details. They all failed. Two key components with them that brought about their failure was how they treated their children. Romans, when they didn't want a baby, if it was a girl, they would throw it in the sewer. These are facts. Look it up. I talked about what Martin Luther, one man exposed, always the few, exposed the Catholic Church. Understand something. When Constantine married the church to the government, what ended up happening, people that got put in charge in the church were Romans, and part of their culture was this sexual deviance nonsense. They used to castrate young boys to keep their voices high. These are facts. Look it up. And they brought that sexual deviance into it, but because those that were true Christians back then complained about it, they went underground with it. And that is where the church, the Catholic Church, got this mindset of protecting these pedophiles and shifting them around, moving them around, paying off the kids, etc., etc., etc. I know I done went all off into a whole bunch of other stuff talking about avoid the vax, and I'm gonna probably have to change that title because I might end up in Facebook jail myself. Not Facebook jail, I'm already in Facebook jail. I might end up in YouTube jail because they obviously want to make it a crime to give aid and comfort to the unvaxxed. I am unvaxxed. I ain't taking that. You know what? If you can make a watermelon with no seeds, an orange with no seeds, you can do it to a human. All you need is the right motivation to manipulate people and the right tool. That's all you need. Now I want y'all to think about that one, because nobody knows what the long-term effects of this you-know-what is going to be. Nobody. Now I know in the back of their minds, those that put it together, they have a desired outcome. Let's see. And I'm not even going to Agenda 21. I don't ascribe to, all that they talk about, but I do know that certain of people do believe in population control and a reduction in it. Bill Gates is number one amongst them, and he has some remote and distant ties through his family with Margaret Sanger, who was a big eugenist, who gave us the Negro Project, but you may know it as Planned Parenthood. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and I know I'm just talking now while I'm driving. So, if they want to reduce the population, what's the best way to do that? And I'm not putting another conspiracy out there. If you don't know what eugenics is, all you got to do is go back and look at what Hitler did. Hitler was just bombastic with it. Everybody just fell in line and let Hitler and his few do what they did. Yet they were trying to wipe out a whole segment of the population in Germany, and would have done it to the world had he been victorious in his endeavors. These are things you guys need to pay attention to and think about. And one group now is poised to have control over the whole world, with the force of government ensuring that their product is placed in their arms. Okay? Think about that. And the next time you see something, do a little research first. Especially if you see me put something out. TMOT out. Drive time till next time. Y'all have a good one. God willing, you'll see me again soon. Peace.